We are pulling the lens way back. If you have no idea what Orange County, California is, start here. If you are gonna move to Orange County, but you don't even know what it is, maybe you're from, I don't know, you've been living under a rock for your whole life, you have no idea what it is, start here. This is where you should start.
So like we mentioned earlier, even though we've already done a video, Orange County for Beginners, we've talked to a few people and we've actually realized that there are some things that we didn't explain. I think part of the reason is that Sean and I are native Southern Californians. Sean was born in Orange County. I was born in San Diego. So there's just a lot of things that I think we just assume people understand and they don't actually understand it. So we're trying to go back a little bit farther and explain. Let's say you just got a job in Orange County, but you have no idea what Orange County even is. You don't have any idea. So we're going to try to explain to you what it is. Now, first of all, if you're not from the United States, you probably don't really even know what a county is. So what a county is in the United States is just a collection of cities. So this is Orange County. Obviously, we've got the nice orange because it's Orange County. And Orange County has many cities in it. Irvine is one of them. That's one city right there. And then we've also got Los Angeles County right here. You may have heard of Los Angeles, very famous city where, you know, Hollywood is. And Long Beach, that's a city that you're seeing right there. That's a city that's in Los Angeles. Pasadena right here. That's a city that's in Los Angeles County. The city of Los Angeles is also in Los Angeles County. That may be why people get confused. For example, San Diego is a city in San Diego County, which is huge. But there's a ton of different cities in San Diego County. Like Oceanside is one of them. You're just seeing right here. Escondido, El Cajon. There's some cities that are in San Diego County. So
so Orange County has about 30 or so cities, give or take, just as an idea of the collection of it. We're like a solar system, and then the galaxy is the state.
Yes, exactly. So in the United States, obviously you've got the states, and each state has a collection of counties, and within each county is a collection of cities. It's all just how they govern themselves, right? I mean, you have certain people that are governing the county of Orange, and then certain people that are governing the city of Irvine. So that's just how it works. And then, you know, you may have never heard of Orange County. You don't know what it is. But what you should know is that it's right next to Los Angeles, which is probably a city that you've heard of, but it's really nothing like Los Angeles. We call Orange County, you know, when you live there, you're behind the orange curtain, and you really just...
Happily,
yes. You really just don't go to LA unless you work there, or unless you have a very good friend that for whatever reason cannot travel to Orange County to visit you.
Yeah, an interesting dynamic with Orange County is that, okay, LA County, I believe, is the most populous county in the entire country.
Yeah.
So it's a huge hub, right? It's a media hub, it's a tech hub, it's just a work hub, it's a trade hub with the ports in Long Beach. So it's just a massive, massive juggernaut of a county. So before we continue, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Sean Dazad.
And I'm Courtney Dazad.
And we're licensed realtors here in the state of California. And if you're watching this channel, you might be thinking, wow, Sean, I love Orange County. I love the blue skies. I love the Pacific Ocean. I can't wait to move here now. The problem is I'm not local, and maybe out of state, and maybe even out of the country, so I don't know what to do. I totally get that. That's when you reach out to us so we can have that conversation, finding out specifically what you're looking for, and we can be your boots on the ground. So we can actually just check out these homes on your behalf. We can do virtual tours of properties as well as the neighborhoods as well, really giving you a feel of what's really going on here. So when you do come out here, your time is spent super efficiently. So what you want to do is when you give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.
Mm-hmm. Now, Orange County itself is no slouch. So we're the 6th most populous county in the entire country, but we're basically a suburb of LA. Very distinct, different vibes, but we're still part of the greater LA media market. So all the channels, the news channel, all that stuff, the sports teams really, Orange County basically is happily part of that media bubble, but we also are very distinct. Like, honestly, the amount of times Courtney and I leave Orange County to go to LA, like let's say it's for a Lakers game or something. I mean, it's very rare because I just don't care for the vibe. I mean, I just really like how Orange County runs, right? It's just nice and smooth and everything makes sense. LA County is just different, and I just don't find myself venturing out that way very often. You're just happily behind the orange curtain, And that's kind of just gives you that dynamic. Now, of course, for international airports, for instance, you will go to LA because LAX is one of the large airports in the entire world. And so we will go, we will travel to LAX because it's only about a 45-minute drive from Orange County. So LAX is in this vicinity over here, and that's the closest international airport. Again, it's a large one. Now we do have John Wayne Airport.
Yeah, which is like kind of right there.
Yeah, and it's a fantastic airport. I mean, it's good for what it is, but it definitely doesn't have all the routes or the routes, I should say, to get to other, all over the world, right? So so John Wayne Airport is great, but again, I mean, obviously if we have a choice, we want to go out of John Wayne Airport because it's actually really well run. It's very smooth to get to. LAX is kind of a nightmare.
If you're traveling anywhere international, probably wouldn't.
Yes.
Like we went to Paris over the summer and we flew out of LAX. We took an Uber over there, and then we went to Texas over the summer as well, and then we did that. We flew out of John Wayne. So that's kind of how it goes.
Exactly.
So now let's talk about the major freeways. So in, Orange County, Los Angeles County, and San Diego County.
And the Inland Empire, which we should actually define as well.
Yeah, so when we talk about the Inland Empire, this may be something, we're talking about anything that is, part of like Riverside or San Bernardino County. Sorry, that's San Bernardino right there.
It's cut off a little bit.
It's cut off a little bit. But that's the Inland Empire, and kind of the reason why we call it that is because everything in Southern California is about how close are you to this beautiful, glorious weather that is right along the coast, right? And the farther that you get inland, the hotter it gets, right? So if you're here in Chino Hills, which is actually quite beautiful, but in the summer, it is really, really hot. Really, in the Inland Empire, you're not that much different, really, than Las Vegas. If you've ever been to Las Vegas, the weather is brutal in the summer, similar to the Inland Empire, which is what, us locals talk about when we talk about the Inland Empire. And even parts of LA, like Pasadena, it gets really hot in the summer because it is far east. Of course, like Yorba Linda, you are getting up there. Yorba Linda is beautiful, but it is definitely 10 degrees hotter in the summer in Yorba Linda than it will be in Huntington Beach. And in the winter too, it is colder in Yorba Linda than it is in Huntington Beach because this ocean, it's got the cold Alaska current coming down. It's making the weather along the coast just pristine and beautiful. Truly the best weather in the world.
Exactly. And then how we connect to the rest of like the Inland Empire and the rest of like to LA County, to even San Diego County is obviously this network of freeways, right? These are, and again, maybe we take it for granted. Like these freeways are nice thoroughfares that like there's not stop. It just runs right through.
The mass transportation in LA and Orange County and San Diego County is not that good. LA and San Diego has a little bit better than Orange County.
But little bit.
Very little. It's extremely difficult to survive in Southern California without a car. It's very hard.
We were just waiting for the boring company to get us the tunnels so we could have our mass transportation. But until that day comes, we got freeways. We're car country. We're built as car country, and that's how it is. Like cycling to work, going that's it's just not really realistic. Just being real, we've had people reach out saying, okay, do I need a car? Yes, almost positively, yes, you need a car.
For sure.
Just to have that in mind. And if that's a deal breaker, maybe Orange County isn't the right place for you because you really, really, really want a car. But like how we do connect to these other places is for sure, like the 5 freeway is one of the major arteries on the entire west coast of the United States. It runs all the way from the Mexican border to the Canadian border. So you're going through California, through Oregon, through Washington State. So the 5 freeway runs through Orange County. Another huge artery too is the 405 freeway. This is this really kind of gets all of Southern California kind of between those 2 freeways. You're kind of hitting a lot of the coastal Southern California area right there. And then, of course, you have the 55 freeway, which again gets you to the 91, which either gets you into LA or it gets you again into the Inland Empire. 57 freeway is another one as well that gets you into the Inland Empire. So these are your major arteries, I would say. Now, all of these are not toll roads. So there are toll roads that are scattered throughout Orange County. Not super it's not a super not an essential way of life yet. But and as native Southern Californians, we despise these toll roads as much as we try to avoid as much as we can.
Yeah.
But at the same time, in case of emergency break glass, it's nice to have. So as far as toll roads go, you have the 73, the 133, the 241, and the 261. I would say those are the
241.
Yeah, and
That's
that's
the 261.
Yeah, that's 261 down here. So like that, these are your primary, and the 91 freeway does have some fast track. Sadly, 405 freeway is actually starting to have some fast track too, which is again a toll lanes within the 405 freeway. So that's again getting around. And again, as we said, another way to get around, of course, if you're flying, is John Wayne Airport, which is right around here. That's again getting around.
Yeah. And then just to let you guys know, we have a map series. It's a 6-part map series that really goes in depth into all of Orange County. So this is really just the beginning step, the pre-step. This is a prequel to that.
You gotta crawl before you walk, right?
Yeah, to that. So, we're not going to go in depth here on a lot of stuff, but we also wanted to just sort of talk about maybe some of the things that you've seen on the news. Depending wherever you are in the world, you've probably heard about Disneyland, and it's interesting. A lot of people think Disneyland is in LA. They say, I'm going to go to LA because I'm going to go to Disneyland. Well, that's probably because they're flying into LA and then going to Disneyland. But Disneyland is in Orange County. It's in the city of Anaheim.
It actually is what put Orange County on the map, really.
Yeah, and then you've got obviously the beaches. You've got Huntington Beach. You've got Seal Beach up here. You may have heard of Huntington Beach, Surf City, USA. You may have heard of Newport Beach, one of the wealthiest cities in the entire United States.
Right next to another one of them.
Right next to Laguna Beach, another one of the wealthiest cities in the United States. Then you've got Dana Point, and then you've got San Clemente. So these are the really what you may have seen on the news. And you also maybe sometimes will see news about forest fires, and I use the word forest loosely because this is called the Cleveland National Forest, but it's basically grass.
The Cleveland National Brush.
Yeah, it's tumbleweeds and grass. And so if you ever do see on the news that, there's a big fire or whatever, it tends to be wherever the map has green, tends to be, again, it's not green, it's brown.
By then it's brown, yeah.
Yeah, it's not, I guess 1 month out of the year it's green.
Yeah, after some rains and stuff like that, it looks nice and green. You're like, that's not going to last very long, but it looks nice for now.
It looks beautiful. Sometimes I will go out to Palm Springs, which is in the Inland Empire, during the Indian Wells tournament, and that's usually February-ish, and then it might actually be green, and then you're kind of stunned, but it's yeah.
Yeah, and so again, so as you were talking about the forest fires, just be aware that there are places with elevated fire risk. That is the reality of it. I mean, it's not like the whole entire county is going to be on fire, but if you're butting up next to the totally unimproved land, that's a lot of fuel for a fire to go. So you want to probably take that into consideration, and you also want to take into consideration your insurance policy, because you're probably going to have higher insurance policies the closer you are to some of these more elevated dangers as far as that goes.
Yeah, and if you want to reach out to us for the Orange County Fire Authority's fire map, they will give you, what they deem as elevated fire risk. And then, of course, insurance companies, they have their own way of determining what's elevated.
Yes. And then also, as we were talking about before, when people have reached out to me, so either they would say, I want to live next to Disneyland or I want to live next to the beach. And I'm like, okay, well, I mean, living next to Disneyland, I'm like, well, how often are you really going? Because Disneyland is in Anaheim. You don't necessarily, again, I'm like, as long as I can be there within 30 minutes, whatever. And I'm going, okay, so the entire county is your oyster as far as that goes. Same thing with the beach. This county is very narrow.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing. So San Diego County, LA County, that's a whole different animal as far as being close to the coast. But Orange County, I mean, even if you're in Yorba Linda, I mean, depending on the traffic, you can get there in about 30 minutes. So it's
to the beach, yeah.
Yeah, to the beach or to Disneyland as well.
Yeah.
So you don't have to necessarily be at the beach unless you want to. It's just that obviously as you get closer to the coast, realize the prices do tend to go up, but the weather is very nice. It's the best in the world. So I could see why you'd want to be close to the coast. It just depends on, again, what where do you work, what your budget is, all these other things, because again, getting close to the coast, that comes at a price.
For sure. Just to give you an idea of scale, so San Clemente, this is the southernmost city in Orange County. If you're driving from San Clemente to Disneyland on a Wednesday afternoon, no traffic, right? It'll take about 40 minutes probably. So it's quite a small city.
Yeah,
or quite a small county, I should say.
Yeah, exactly. We're all condensed. We're a very small, narrow county. Again, I think that to give you an idea of scale, because when you're zoomed in, you're like, oh, that looks pretty big or whatever. You're like, okay, let's zoom out again. Give you a sense. Look at how narrow that is. A really small swath of land, right? That's just to kind of give you a sense that we're very narrow, very coastal, and that's why the prices are very expensive. And remember, we are licensed realtors here in the state of California. So as much as we love making these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call or shoot us a text.
Yes, that number is a cell phone, so you can call us or text us, or you can use WhatsApp if you're outside the country.